Hello folks, Typhoon Carter here, and I bring to you in our DPP Revival Invitational series. This is a round 4 winners bracket matchup between DeepBlueC and Pideous. Interesting pairing here, as obviously Pideous is our defending champion. And that versus DeepBlueC, who has been an SPL mainstay for a couple years, although he's taken the last 2 SPLs or so off from playing DPP. But this is a fantastic matchup to see at this stage in the tournament. I'm very excited to see how this turns out. Let's jump right into this. Gyro lead, Tyranitar lead. DBC obviously does not want to stay in on this. Gotta go into his own Gyarados as his response, and Pideous with a T-Wave, so this could be either defensive Gyarados or, you know, like sub DD. And oh, so both players bringing out T-Wave Gyro, so this could be a defensive matchup here. And oh, nice baton pass there. And that Celebi might be sub baton pass, which I know Pideous has actually ran before a couple times. And Pideous going to scout out the Thunder Punch there with the Celebi and going to get the sub up here. Meteor Mash, trying to fish for a miss from the looks of it. But, I mean, if Pideous keeps doing this, you also have to be wary that you might get hit with a huge Meteor Mash raise. But gotta swap out, showing Scarf Tar from the looks of it. So DBC obviously does not want to stay in here. Gotta go into the defensive Gyarados from the looks of it. And that's going to keep the Jirachee in check for now. I mean, if you're running sub baton pass, this is like, you know, fairly unexplored. Oh man, gets the avoid. I'm gonna pause here real quick. I know you guys don't like that sometimes, but I think this is like worth pausing for. So sub baton is so baton pass, as you might remember, was relatively recent, like with its unban, where the strategy is still a little bit niche. It's in its development stages, but generally, if you're running sub baton pass, last move is like Grass Knot on this set in particular, like a bulky sub baton pass set. What you can do is you could normally baton pass into something like a Rhyperior, like even something like a Breloom or like Lucario. There's like a few ways you could approach this, but based on Pideous's team structure, like you got what looks to be a defensive Gyarados, could also be T-Wave DD Gyra, and then you could pass the sub into something like a Rhyperior and then take a blow, or like, you know, and then try to make some magic happen there. I've ran some variation of this, although it was on a more offensive team with like sub BP with a Grass Knot and the Earth Power, because on like a more offensive take to like disrupt something like Heatran, try to come in. But let's just keep going here. So Pideous in a really good spot now, but just go recover for now. And oh, calls the EQ, going to pass it into a Starmie. And Pideous is going to be able to safely use this. Oh, gets the mash raised though. So Starmie doesn't want to stay in, risking a possible Thunder Punch, ideally. And gets the full para. Jesus. Good. Full paras again. So DeepBlueC cannot catch a break right now. And now, Pideous can basically, what some people like to call odds max her way out of this. Like, because if you get like either a mash miss or like, you know, like a full para, and got finally get crit there, and then good. Oh, okay, gets a full para anyways. Geez, this is a really awkward spot for Pideous, and then Donphan's gonna be sent in here. Gotta get rid of the rocks for now, especially because but the Jiro can still get back up later, and T-Tar is going to be the follow-up, gonna threaten the superpower. But no, nice crunch there instead. Crunching on the Jirachee, and Jirachee's got Iron Head there. And there's a Rachi, there's a way, as many would say. Yeah, I cannot believe I... Well, actually, yeah, this... oh man, if you guys hate Iron Head flinches, yeah. Wait, you had a Magnezone this whole time? Wait, why didn't you just... What? You should have done this sooner. Like, no, because... Yeah, or you could have gone to Gyarados. Like, I don't know if I should be... Okay, no, I don't want to be too harsh here, but... yeah, no, I feel like he could have at least done this much sooner and avoided losing, like, you know, 20% on Donphan for no reason. And yeah, that's very much a defense of Gyarados. As for DeepBlueC's is last here. Something like a... Oh, okay, I was gonna say something like a Breloom could work here. Yeah, so Breloom... And then Fire Punch's targets to burn. Jesus Christ, I cannot. I mean, going Pideous for like seeing that, oh hey, that might be a possible switch. Let's just Fire Punch it. Yeah, I mean, it was a pretty safe mid-ground, to be fair. I think Pideous is gonna have... I mean, this game should be wrapped up for Pideous, but there is a way that DBC can come back from this. All things considered, because the way Pideous could, DeepBlueC could try to come back from this, because Pideous is firmly in the driver's seat right now, is getting a series of full paras with the Breloom. That is pretty much how DBC, yeah, bulk up. Okay. Okay, yeah, bulk up Breloom might do it here. Because a lot of the times, I think the last on Pideous' team could be something like a Rotom. Or like a Zapdos. Actually, no, if it was Zapdos that Pideous should have brought out sooner, but something like a Rotom with like T-Bolt might be Pideous' last. Fire Punch is there. Obviously, I mean, BKC tried this and he unfortunately got crit. So that's pretty much the one way Pideous can get out of this. And then, you know, Gyarados gotta try to intimidate this, but I don't think that's gonna work out. Okay. Besides there, man, yeah, no, DBC might have this wrapped up. Besides there, does he get the crit? No. But the Jirachee can still pull a fast one, obviously. Go Leech Seed here. Okay, does not get it. Yeah, I'm starting to think the last on Pideous' end is probably a Rotom. And really, I think DBC was able to remain patient, be able to... I mean, getting the Celebi out of the way was huge. But I'd say the big thing was that, from this game one, was that DBC was able to stay patient, be able to kind of, you know, full para the key pieces that he needed to full para. And then from there, you would basically just try to win the game that way. But obviously, a last Pokemon situation can ruin that. Bulk up here. Just gonna need one more to reach full stage. Gets a flinch there. Okay, sure. This is like... Oh man. This is not that interesting. Oh, it gets a crit there. A double crit could actually do it. Oh, the last was Magneton. Flash Cannon's there. I don't know if that's actually gonna do enough. No, it does not. But yeah, DVC can just protect this out. He just needs to avoid some crits. Which, you know, given the way this game had turned out early on, Yeah, I think it was any other prelim set, then Pideous might have probably had this game wrapped up, but because it was bulk up, that. Anyways, yeah, before I show bulk up, yeah, DPC takes game 1, but as I was saying, you know, I was gonna say the way that DPC might be able to come back was if it was like SD, with something like SD Berloom, with like Sword Stance, Seed Bomb, Facade, Superpower, or something like, you know, Seed Bomb, Superpower, Mach, was probably how I envisioned him potentially coming back, but bulk up Facade, this set works out too, and was probably a little bit more reliable in terms of getting past the Jirachee. You didn't need as many, you know, full paras and whatnot. But nicely played from DPC. Let's go into game 2. Jirachee lead, Gira lead, Gira 40. So DPC bringing a fat team once again. I could eat that fire punch like it's nothing. Well, it is at -1, so. Gira 40, and then I imagine there's probably a Clefable in the back here too. That's an interesting style. And then something like, if you're running 40, usually you gotta have something like a Pursuiter, but Pursuitless 40 is absolutely doable. Anyways, yeah, so this is, okay, Gira 40 Hippo. Again, yeah, this is a 6 that I've seen before. It's, or like a common pairing. I think a variation of what DPC's done, that I've done before, and yeah, I also had Clef on this, was rounded out with a Jirachee and then a mixed Flygon, although it is a low Breloom weekend. Oh, that is not good. But luckily, gonna need to avoid getting double crit there. There should be outranged for now. And yeah, Clef's gonna be forced to heal up a couple more times and just gonna finally get phased out here into Gyarados. Not really what Pideous wanted to see. Especially because this is pretty much Rest Hawk Gira. The question is whether this is T-Wave or Roar Gira. And then Clefable is going to be pivoted in. Into Hippo. And just gotta get S-tossed down. So Hippo's gonna be forced to slack off here. DPC bring in his own Hippo, so... Okay, I was gonna say he could threaten a Toxic, which would be an unusual choice, but it's very much a thing on Hippo. And Gira might be forced to rest here. And yeah, we're in it for the long haul here. 4 here... Gonna keep coming in on the Skarmory, but obviously Skarmory can put pressure on this Fortress by simply... Oh, going to see what looks to be a Wisp Rotom. So even with Payback, it's like you can't really do much about that. Yeah, DPC knows that, and Pideous also takes advantage of that to double into his own Clefable, which is like as safe as it gets. And... Oh geez, okay. Yeah, we're gonna be in for Clef Mirror. I think the question is what the last moves on both these Clefables are. DPC shows T-Wave. What about Pideous? Pideous not showing anything yet. Probably not T-Wave. I imagine this might actually be Encore Clefable. Softbows here. Yeah, we got some Clef on Clef action. Pideous switches out. Gotta bring the Hippo in. Going to just try to make the Clefable waste more PP. The 4E should have payback on this anyways, but Spikes as a mid-ground is fine there in case he did go Rotom. Because, like, if it's defensive Rotom, then you're just not doing a whole lot. Oh, Heal Bell's the last here, which is actually a pretty cool option. Because I think I talked about this in another series of counting. But, yeah, so Heal Bell on Clefable is pretty nice because this allows you to run something like Rest Rotom, you know, Skarmory like deal with status a little bit better overall, but obviously the low PP. Oh, gets a freeze there. And I mean, depending on how long this Clefable stays frozen, this could easily turn the tides in Pideous' favor and perhaps even seal the game. Skarmory going to... Oh, okay, so big call there, calling out the payback attempt into the Latias. That's going to come in on this Heatran. This is probably Roar Heatran. Heatran's an interesting option on these teams because Heatran is like very bulky, as most would remember. Lava Plume, Protect. This might be Torment Tran, which on these 4E teams can be extremely annoying. Because like, yeah, like if it's like Monotran, because like generally it works out because like you're like forcing your opponent to actually switch around. DPC is gonna need a unfall at any minute now, because I think if DPC cannot get unfawed, Cresselia is the last here, which is also okay. I imagine what... Oh, that's a Scarf crit. Oh, okay, Lunar Dance works too. Yeah, so DPC forced the Lunar Dance pretty early on with the Cresselia, just to like give himself a bit of a chance to like stay in this game. And then now we're kind of back into this whole cycle of... I don't know if... Oh, okay, I mean, sure. Sure, not the worst thing you could do here. Yeah, oh man, sorry, I'm gonna speed this up because I'm trying to think of what to talk about while this is happening. I mean, yeah, Pideous is again favored in this situation, like just matchup wise, simply because if DPC cannot get the Rotom out of the way, those hazards are going to stay. And like something like Hippo is, and Gyarados obviously, as you can tell, are afflicted pretty badly by this. Going to have to burn a Sleep Talk there. And I mean, yeah, because like it's... And then DPC can almost... has like no real safe opportunity to bring the rest top Gyarados in without risking losing it now at this stage. And then like if he... But luckily he's at 2 turns, so if he gets roared in, he can at least safely rest up again. But yeah, this is just really not favored. And Hippo... Oh, okay, so fortunately was able to not get roared out immediately. Is he gonna roar again? Nope. I would just roar it again if I was Pideous, but go roar again here. Here. Oh, okay, actually roars this time, and oh, this 4E might as well be dead. Yeah, this game is brutal, to say the least. Because now, what Pideous has, like, obviously the numbers advantage, and then Pideous also has more pieces that he can safely switch around. And obviously, only 2 layers of Spikes and Stealth Rocks is not going to sting as much as, you know, the full 3 layers. And then, not to mention, he can still... Oh, okay, just got a Pain Split here. But I think DPC's got to go for a knock now. No, he's got to hold off on that. But if he gets a couple bad rolls... And yeah, really, the other issue is that DPC is just forced to slack off almost every time the Hippo comes in. And because of that, it's like you can't really... There's not a lot you can really do about this. As for ways that Pideous can choke this, I mean, if you somehow let the Clef go, like maybe on a Heatran Explosion or something, that's like one way you could choke this. But really you see the problem with these 4E teams, and there's a reason why a lot of these Fortress teams, or Fortress in general, is just not seen as much anymore. Because like 4E always has this cycle, no matter the tier, it doesn't matter if it's ADV, doesn't matter if it's DPP or GSC, like every couple years, well especially in Gens 3 and 4, you will always see something like this cycle where 4E goes from, you know, being the GOAT to being, you know, literal bum. Which, like, I'm not sure what's a nicer way to put it, but yeah, like 4E always goes through these cycles, like, you know, every couple, in like a period of like 2-3 years. I watch like maybe in a year or two, like people will start praising this thing again. And I go rest up here, slacks off here, and not to mention these Breloom teams in general. Against Breloom, like you can really see how vulnerable something like a Pideous Breloom team could be. Even with the Cresselia, even with the defensive Gyarados to try to hold things down, it's like you'd have a hard time like trying to, you know, hold off against that, and then especially against like aggressive hazard stacks. Like 4E in theory can punish that, but you really see there how like Pideous gave DBC very few opportunities to ever try to go for that. And well, okay, there's one other way DBC can make it out of this is if he somehow gets enough full paras and flinches combined on the Skarmory, which the way this is playing out, tough luck. Can't move. Oh, chance? There's a chance he might be able to make something out of this. Waterfalls again. Finally gets the roost here. And yeah, those waterfall PP really kicking in now. And it brings the Heatran in, but Heatran really has very limited opportunities. And yeah, it was a Tormentran, in fact. But DBC just got forfeit here. And a little bit of post-game commentary. Thing with Tormentran, like on this team, it actually makes sense. Like the synergy, it makes sense. But really, you see the problem here is how something like Clefable just completely blanks this Heatran. Not to mention all the hazards that go up. If you're not able to keep them off, you are just in huge trouble. Like just not be able to do anything here. And I mean, I'm generally not a fan of these teams now. They had their heyday, but anyways. And then Pideous brought something like relatively standard here. But anyways, that being said though, let's go into game 3. Here we're at game 3, hopefully not as long. Arrow lead and Polion lead, so we're in for a fast one. Got Ice Beam here and probably going to get the Aqua Jet off. But Gyara's gonna be the follow up here. Oh, great Ice Beam there. And probably just, oh, it's Shuka and Polion. Gonna try to trade down here from the looks of it. But the Empoleon might not be carrying rocks, and Pideous just bringing out an Aerodactyl HO, and Lucario is just going to punch that thing down into a Breloom. And then yeah, Pideous' team, you know, like this is like might be double fighter Aerodactyl HO, but Breloom's going to get the Spore off there, taking advantage of the fact that DBC had to respect Mach Punch there. So that was a really good play. And then go ahead get pursued it, but this means that now the Lucario, or Metagross is going to be a follow up here. And just get a Meteor Mash here into the Rotom. Probably was trying to catch a Boom or something, but this meta will probably go down. And Overheat gets the -2. Gyara's gonna try to come in, gotta try to, you know, take advantage of this. Got sub up here, so gonna try to play for a Stealth Rock miss, or Stone Edge miss, sorry. And just got Waterfall there. But now this Rotom is going to come back in, going to threaten this. Mamoswine's the last here. Okay, this game state just got a little bit more interesting, especially given how fast this game has gone. So now, assuming this is substitute Mamoswine, which it should be in this, if it is, based on how DBC's been playing this out. I mean, this is an interesting offense. I mean, the Rocker's probably mega gross. You got like this triple steal offense with Mamoswine to kind of hold the fort down against something like Zapdos. Because a lot of Zapdos run like HP Ice, so you can try to bully it that way. Anyways, the Mamoswine here, now, if this is like EQ, Ice Shard, Ice Fang with sub, then now Mamoswine can get a free sub up, and then this Heatran might be faster. If it's Jolly Mammal, then okay, no, going to break the sub here, and just got punch past the Shuka Berry. Does not matter. This Rotom, oh. Okay, yeah, these both players, you can't see it, but they just burnt like about 2-3 minutes of clock. DBC down to 30 seconds. So he's a little low on time. And gets the overheat miss that he's looking for. But overheat misses again, and Gira has like one more jolt of life left. Yeah, Mamoswine should be able to sub up here safely. And Pideous also down to 10 seconds now. And he ran out of time. DBC ran out of time here, and Pideous will win by timeout. Geez, I'll probably post a screen of like the timer thing, but oh man, that's gotta suck for DBC, like being sent down to losers because you ran out of time. So what likely would have happened here was that I think DBC would have probably gotten the Ice Shard off on the Rotom, Ice Shard, and then after that, if it has Ice Fang, Breloom might try to break it, because I think Ice Shard actually killed the Rotom from this range, if he has it, and then that way, you basically have an end game where you Ice Fang, you either outright KO the Breloom, or you do a lot of damage to it, and then you Ice Shard and the EQ, and then, you know, that's the game. Which really is unfortunate. Man, I'm not sure what to say. It's not often you see a timeout loss in tournaments, but it does happen, like it did here, unfortunately, for DBC, who I thought actually did a good job setting himself up for that Mamoswine endgame, which was like beautifully played. You know, a funny thing to think about was that if it was Jolly, Pideous was even in more trouble. But you know, enough of that though. That being said though, DBC, he is not out of the tournament yet. He will at least be able to play in round 5, which is losers bracket. So and then for Pideous, she is going to move on to round 6 and try and keep moving forward in hopes of becoming a 2-time winner of DPP Invitational, and you know, a 2-time money winner as well. That being said though, if you guys enjoyed this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.